Caspian, and it's been a Happy New Year, even though I said it last time. Happy New Year again. 2008 is finally here. We're in the same year as Prince Caspian, which is pretty exciting. This is the year of Prince Caspian right here, and it's just yet another thing that makes you realize how close we are to the release of the movie. That, wow, I remember first hearing that Prince Caspian was coming out in summer 2008, and it felt so far away, and here we are, 2008. So it's pretty wow. But hasn't really been much news, which is the reason I haven't had a video since last year. So it's kind of, before I totally lose track of what's going on, I better just post something that's covering all the little things. The Don Treader filming locations were announced in New Zealand, or at least we thought they were. Now we know that they aren't actually confirmed, but go to Narnia Web and they got some pictures from Google Earth. These aren't the exact locations where they're going to be filming, but the rough areas. And New Plymouth is my favorite. Go to Narnia Web, they got pictures of them. New Plymouth is my favorite. It just seems like the perfect location to have them confront Eustace when he's a dragon. Just things like that popping into my mind. And I like Hawke's Bay, and it just like the colors, and it seems like Don Treader is my favorite book. I'll say it again. So really important that we do well with the movie. Also, obviously, there's a couple new things that have been announced. I'll probably have a Narnia product review for it at some point. There's a Narnia movie tie-in edition. And the thing that this is really interesting about this one, I believe this is correct, that this is the first time they've released a set of Narnia books that includes the timeline that Lewis wrote that shows the England side and the Narnia side. Obviously, we've all read it and seen it in other books and online and stuff, but I believe it's correct. This is the first time it's going to actually be released with a set of Narnia books, and so I'm going to get it for that reason. Just because that's interesting. It's going to have Pauline Bain's artwork in it. It's going to be a little fold-out page, and I love Pauline Bain, so I'm excited about that. Also going to be something called Narnia Chronology. It just says it will include pop-ups, gatefolds, pull tabs, and many other exciting features to tell the stories, which sounds like another geeky collector's thing. Anytime something new about Narnia comes out, it's exciting. They're like, yeah, the books came out 50 years ago, but, the legacy continues. I think Douglas Gresham is very committed to always doing new things. Obviously I reread the books all the time and love them, but I think he's very committed to trying to always be coming out with new things and new covers and additions and, things like that. So I really like that. One more bit from the word on the street on Narnia before I get to the biggest piece of news. I just got back from seeing The Pirates Don't Do Anything, a Veggie Tales movie. I actually saw it this morning. And I'm a big Veggie Tales fan. And so it was very interesting when I read on VeggiePirates.com, the official website. If you go to the website, click on About the Film, then About the Characters, then scroll down, it says, the more imaginative characters, in Pirates Don't Do Anything, were inspired by classic fantasies and nautical stories, such as C.S. Lewis's Voyage of the Don Treader from his Chronicles of Narnia series. Didn't come as a huge surprise to me. I know that Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki, the creators of Veggie Tales, are big. They mentioned Narnia a few times, so I know they like Narnia. But I got back from seeing it, and there's nothing in particular that reminded me of Narnia. There's a scene where there's this whirlpool they get to, and there's kind of this, sudden darkness in front of them, and kind of made me think of the Dark Island a little bit, just because I was looking for it. But nothing, they didn't have duffel bud topping around or anything, so there's nothing in particular that reminded me of Narnia, so I'm not quite sure what they meant by that when I read that. But I just mentioned that because I'm a big Veggie Tales and a big Narnia fan, so thought it was worth mentioning. And I did like the film, by the way, overall. I was very happy with it. But this is a Narnia blog, so let's get back to the biggest news that's come out since my last video is that The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe will be coming to Blu-ray Disc in May. We knew it was coming this spring, but we didn't know exactly when. Now it's going to be coming in May. We can assume that it's going to be coming out sometime before Prince Caspian, maybe the first or second week of May, as part of the Prince Caspian promo effort. And I would make the assumption that there's going to be some kind of at the very least, the trailer, some kind of Prince Caspian promo. It's very common when a sequel comes out to re-release the first movie. I mean, X-Men did it, Fantastic Four did it, Lord of the Rings obviously did it, and to release the original film with some kind of exclusive sneak peek. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of little, 5-minute kind of lame behind the scenes of Prince Caspian thing. Probably not very much new stuff, but it might be something. I'm very excited about Narnia coming to Blu-ray Disc. And there's been a lot of talk. Obviously, there's a very big news a couple weeks ago that Warner Brothers has decided to drop the HD DVD format. Up to now, Warner Brothers has been, I want to keep this Narnia focused, but just briefly, let me just summarize it. Warner Brothers, up to now, they've been releasing Blu-ray and HD DVD. They've announced that as of May, they're going to be dropping HD DVD. So basically, Blu-ray has won the war, pretty much. And now, obviously, New Line has dropped HD DVD, of course, since they're owned by Time Warner, and so that means Lord of the Rings on Blu-ray disc. And now Universal might. Basically, Blu-ray is almost certainly going to win this war, which is good for Narnia fans because Disney is Blu-ray exclusive, as most studios are. So, I mention this because, I have been, thinking about, Blu-ray versus HD for a while, and one of the factors that is influencing my decision a little bit is Narnia. I've decided that I want to get a Blu-ray player before next Christmas. The reason, and not the only reason, of course, but one of the reasons is that the Prince Caspian Blu-ray disc will almost certainly be coming out next Christmas, and I want to be able to buy the Prince Caspian Blu-ray disc. I picture myself, going to the store and seeing there's the Prince Caspian Blu-ray disc and there's the DVD, and I pick up the DVD. Heartbreaking. I could turn down the Prince Caspian Blu-ray disc. So one of the factors that is influencing my decision to get it within the year is that I want to be able to get Prince Caspian on Blu-ray disc. And I have to admit I'm toying with the idea of getting a Blu-ray disc player by May, just so I can have The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in high def, which I would love. Specifically, I'd like to see Lantern Waste in high def, and the snow around the lamppost would look really, really neat. And of course, even if I don't have a Blu-ray disc player when Wardrobe comes out on Blu-ray, I'm still going to buy the Blu-ray disc, just to have. But I have thought there are some options. Obviously, most people aren't going to have a Blu-ray player, even by next summer. So I'd like to write up as detailed a review as possible for Narnia Web. And since people can at least know what's on there, there's going to be a cool picture-in-picture feature, which I'm really looking forward to. Looking forward to seeing what the new extras are. But there are a couple different options. I can figure out there's a friend of a friend who has a Blu-ray player that I know, and it'd be kind of awkward to say, I don't know you, but could I borrow your Blu-ray player for a couple hours? So there's a couple different options where I could at least watch it enough to write a review, and so I'm looking at that right now. But it's not if. How am I going to watch this? Not if. I know I'm going to watch this somehow. I'm going to see Narnia in high def. And if my only choice is to get a Blu-ray player next summer, that's what I'm going to do. But I just thought it was interesting. I thought it was worth mentioning on here, even though I want to keep this Narnia focused, obviously, that one of the things that's influencing my decision to get a Blu-ray player within the year is Prince Caspian, that I want to be able to get the Prince Caspian Blu-ray disc. And so I'm very much looking forward to seeing Narnia in high def. I think I've seen a couple of high def movies, and it's amazing. Even if you've already seen it, it's basically like seeing it for the first time. And so it'll be. And another thing I've been thinking about, I want to rewatch Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, probably the night before Prince Caspian comes out, just for fun. So it'd be cool if the night before I saw Wardrobe in high def. It'd be like seeing it for the first time. I see it for the first time in high def before going to the theater to see Prince Caspian for the first time. It'd be great. That would just be really cool experience. Just like one final viewing of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in high def before going to see Prince Caspian. So very interesting. So that's the biggest news for me so far. Is that the Wardrobe is coming to Blu-ray disc. I'm very, very excited to see that. But 125 days to go, and hasn't been much news. It's been pretty quiet, and Disney's very smart in that they know that quiet times are very, not necessarily intentional all the time, but quiet times are very important for marketing. If you overhype something, that often works against you. And so right now we're at a very quiet stage, and so last couple times there have been quiet stages. Something big has come up. So I've got to be thinking that pretty soon something fairly big must be coming. So just keep your eye on NarniaWeb.com. Keep your eyes on the news. And looking forward to the Narnia Blu-ray disc release.